My name's Tom Ross, and this is the Honest Entrepreneur Show, where I'm bringing you tried and tested advice to help your online business without any of the bullshit. Today, I'm talking all about input, output, and how to reverse engineer success. And if that sounds kind of weird and confusing and alien to you, don't worry, I'm going to explain, of course. Maybe this sounds familiar. You might feel frozen when it comes to your goals in business and marketing. You might not be sure of the action to take, and so you're just kind of paralyzed in indecision and uncertainty. Today, I share my personal stance and how I think about this stuff, as well as how to ensure that you're taking the right steps in action to achieve the results you actually want in business. In my opinion, the single best way to think about your business growth is in terms of input and output. If the output is the results, what work are you putting in to achieve those results? It sounds so simple, like so many things, but so many people I know are completely frozen in this stage because they simply don't know what work they should be putting in. And they're kind of fuzzy about their goals as well. Now, whilst of course we cannot guarantee that putting in a certain type of work is going to elicit a certain type or scale in terms of results, we can often have a pretty good idea. Let's start with the output, i.e. the result that you're looking for. The trick is to make it something real and tangible, nothing fluffy or vague. Something like, I want to grow my business this year is far too vague and ambiguous. How about something like, I want to land 3 new clients this month? So if that's the output that you're looking to achieve, what input, what action do you think is going to help you achieve that? Perhaps you start by actually pitching your services to prospective clients. So what do you need for that? You probably need a list of prospective clients to begin pitching. And this list of clients becomes a new output. It's a new thing that you want to get, that you want to achieve. So what's the input? The input would be a phase of research. You go out in your industry and you compile a big list of all the potential clients which you'd love to work with that you think would be a great fit for you. And then the whole thing can of course break down further because you're going to have to write and refine your pitch. You're going to have to work out the processes there. You're going to have to do the work of actually reaching out and pitching and then responding to people. However, I've worked personally with so many people and they'll be there like kind of frozen in indecision and end up just wasting hours scrolling on Instagram when they know in their heart what they want is to attract more clients, but they're not doing any of the actual work to go and achieve it. And I realize this can be down to things like imposter syndrome, where actually they're hiding behind excuses because they're scared to go and take that step. But simply by having this methodology, write it down even, this can help, of being like, here's the result I want, draw an arrow back, here's the action I need to put in. Then it's staring you in the face. It's like, I have to take that action if I want that result, instead of just floating around in your head. Let me give you another example. I know that I want more people to listen to this show, but that would be quite a vague and fluffy goal because that goes on forever, right? I'm always going to want more people to listen to this show. So let's try something more tangible. I know as quite a big audacious goal, I want to increase the number of monthly downloads on this show by at least 50% every month. That's something that I kind of now hold myself accountable to. And thankfully it has been happening. It's been seeing some really good traction. But with that number in place, now that's something where I'm like, oh, if I'm falling short one month of that, I need to work to try and hit that. I need to change something in terms of my input because I don't want to miss out on that goal. So I figured within this goal, a good way to grow my podcast downloads is going to be getting in front of other audiences on other relevant podcasts. So I decided my input would be spending time reaching out to relevant podcasters in the entrepreneurial and marketing space and essentially offering myself to be a guest on their show. It's the ideal fit. They are openly and very honestly looking for guests for their show. I believe I have a compelling story and hopefully lots of value to bring. And so when I pitch them, it's not like a horrible cold pitch. It's something that should hopefully be a natural fit. And it's been playing out well. I've been doing several of these interviews every single week. And through doing that, I'm regularly encountering new fans, new listeners of my show, and the numbers keep going in the right direction. But you have to see, if I didn't kind of start with that, what do I want to achieve? And then how am I going to get there? And then do the work of getting there. If I just sat around being like, I kind of want some more listeners for my podcast and didn't really do anything, nothing would happen. And the beauty of this type of approach is it makes you so focused. If, like me, you have limited time, I mean, this whole show, this personal branding that I'm doing, I have like an hour a night during the week and then a little bit more time at weekends. It is not much time around my day job, but by doing the work that actually is going to elicit results, it's much more efficient use of my time. Those 1-2 hours here and there could evaporate into thin air if I was just on Instagram kind of surfing around and doing this busy work or procrastinating. That time would vanish in an instant. But through actually, spending a solid hour approaching X number of podcasters and saying I'd like to be on your show, the results from just an hour of work can be huge. It can get me out to tens of thousands of listeners. It can bring me all kinds of reach. So here's a few other examples of input and output. If you want more email subscribers on your newsletter, then maybe spend the time setting up a compelling lead magnet for people. Maybe shout about the fact you have a newsletter on your social media. Maybe create a landing page that's more focused on people signing up for your newsletter instead of just pushing them to your homepage. If you want better client retention, maybe set up a series of reminders where you send personalized, thoughtful gifts to your client base of loyal clients to keep them sticking around and feeling more valued from you. Maybe have a set series of questions that you ask when you break up with a client or you part ways, where you try and encourage them to be honest about why that's happened and let you improve your service offering in the future. Maybe you do look at the service you provide to all of your clients, audit and analyze and see how you can improve and do a better job, which is going to be more likely for them to stick around. Maybe decide the actual business model is slightly broken and you want to shift away from clients giving you one-off projects and shift more towards those clients that are going to be giving you recurring projects. Maybe you decide you need to hire and delegate because you've become a bottleneck in your organization, so you need to scale out to allow you to grow. Delegate some of those jobs that are less important but still need to happen and focus on the more important jobs. I'll give you a real one that we implemented recently. So I knew that an output that I wanted was to improve the culture at Design Cuts. And I love our culture. I think we've got a great culture and I love the team. But I knew that we could push it even further. And I knew that's something I wanted to give to the team. So realizing that I had finite time, I thought, what's the best input to achieve that result? And so I set up the rather inspired Culture Club, not my genius term. It was one of our genius team members. But we set up Culture Club, where it's 3 team members that work with me and help me scale out my intent to provide better culture by organizing events and doing nice gestures in-house and that kind of thing. But the point is, if I hadn't started with that as my goal and then tracked back from it the actual steps it would take and then implemented those steps, it would have just floated around my head as a nice idea. The point is, you need to actually take the time to figure out, first and foremost, what are your goals? What do you want? What do you want to achieve? Remember, keep them focused, specific, and tangible. Then audit your current actions. Are your current actions actually aligning with your goals? Often they won't be. And then simply reverse engineer your goals. Start with the end result, the output, and then track back what actions are going to let you get there. An example might just be, I want to get those 3 clients a month. The input is then, okay, so I'm going to pitch 10 clients a week. And then once you're in that process of pitching more clients, the output that you want to achieve is, I want to land a higher percentage of the pitches that I make to clients. So you track back from that goal, and the input, the action could be, I'm going to refine my pitch deck and make it better, so I have a better conversion rate in terms of landing clients that I approach. I've just had so many conversations with people that are really, really smart and really creative. But when I say, what's your goal? And they tell me, and then I say, what steps are you doing to achieve that goal? And they often kind of shrug and go, pretty much nothing. That's why you're not growing. And so, as obvious as some of what I'm saying might sound, like, please do this methodology: output, reverse engineer, track back, what input, what action do you need to take, and then take it. It's the only way that you're going to reach the success which you're trying to go after. So I implore you, give it a try, see the results for yourself, and please let me know how you get on. I'm always here to support you. Thanks so much for watching and listening as always, and I will see you guys next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode. Really, really appreciate you being here with me. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe right here on YouTube. Remember, tick the little bell icon so that you get proper notifications. I really hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you'll stick around for the upcoming episodes. I really want to keep bringing you as much value as possible. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you guys soon.